you telling a
prostitute story. You guys ready? Are you ready for this? Bondage? I'm in.
I should be able to hire my own tweaker to beat up another tweaker.
Gets high fives from the boys.
It's the stupidest thing I ever heard of.
Good morning with the boys.
Morning.
Cheers. Shout out City Brew this morning.
We're going brew.
Full City Brew coffees. No
That's
cups.
done. I actually seen online because it's Dunkin' Coffee and it's pretty local. They also have Mazivo. And right now it's kind of cool. They're like crowdsourcing it essentially. You can buy in a little stake of Mazivo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, be a little ownership.
And they've they've came up quick because they started with 1 and now they're up to like 4 here in town.
They're getting ready actually on their 5th location now.
Really?
Just in town, so
okay.
big popping.
Yeah, and they're all from right here in Billings too, huh?
Yeah, it's cool because you guys got like them and like the Cobb House is all local. You got like Tops, Tucker Veltkamp.
Yep, I knew Tops, and he same thing, dude. He blew up quick. He went from 1 to 4 stores in a while.
Latest video, he does a reverse making sandwich. How if somebody cancels their order and he makes the sandwich and he just plays it all backwards. Oh, it's so damn funny. I was like, that is creative. The dude's really, really creative. I
do like his commercials. They not a bad commercial, you know what I mean?
No, not by any means. Especially he definitely found his own niche. I think a lot of it's online. He goes and kind of like what we're doing. I mean, he's been in Big J on the radio and everything. He goes and sits down and talks with everybody. And one of the most friendly guys, I tell you what.
That helps. I know. I'm like
also talking like a stalker from afar. I've never actually met Tucker, so
I just watch him. He looks real nice. Looks like a real nice guy.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, that Tucker. What was that about? I couldn't tell you.
Don't worry, he's just real nice. How many times you met him? Never.
He's real nice on the eyes, though.
Shout out Tops, dude.
I haven't gone there to get a sandwich. It's one of those deals I haven't been in, but they always look delicious, and I'm like, I gotta get the sandwich.
When I DoorDashed, I delivered their food a lot, so I would go drive through and pick it up and go take it to people, and they were always very nice.
Talk about delivering. You walk into a delicious place.
Oh, this one was drive-through only, so
at least you
it's even better for DoorDashing. You're like, I don't got to get out of the car. You pull up and just like, I'm here for the DoorDash. Pull around the corner, hand it to you, boom, you're gone.
I meant as far as the smells of the delicious places that you go into, it's such a struggle. Yesterday, dropping off his pizza, ain't nobody around. I am sitting there and I'm getting super. Because you have to wait so many minutes before you can
cancel or an order. Yeah.
So I'm like walking into a building right where, the little Caesars over on Central. You go across that and it has those apartments. You ever been inside those things?
No.
It's a trip, bro.
Yeah.
You go in and it's like concrete all the way around. And then it's road like inside. So like you have like a whole set of apartments. It's all like built like a hotel almost. And you just have like apartment all the way around. Next floor, apartment, all the way around.
There's one downtown that is the big brick one, and its stairs are on the outside. And the same thing, the elevator leads you up, and then you walk out on the balcony. So it's like it's an outdoor elevator basically. So I use the stairs now because I used the elevator once and it did not sound good.
I don't know. There's something wrong with that elevator. Stick it outside so people don't use it.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're riding that damn elevator?
You brave motherfuckers. That's the one we got. That's the one we took out of downtown.
Talk about brave. Yeah. You played Dead by Daylight?
No, I have not.
Talk about a horrific game. You get to play as, like, especially with Halloween right around the corner, you get to play as the killers, or you can play as Survivors.
Oh,
We've been going full on
that's
Survivor.
Dead by Daylight. I gotcha.
Oh,
I've
it's
seen a lot of people play it. That's actually, it's a couple year old game, but it's still been really popular since it came out. Honestly, I bet you it would probably be up there for like a game that has stayed relevant over the years.
Oh,
if you had a list of games that stuck with it.
I think I heard about it first time like last year. Because I've watched The Boys a lot. And they were playing it. But it's terrifying. I don't know, like the idea of being the killer and then going and grabbing people and throwing them on hooks.
You have to like restart the generator or something. There's so many tasks you have to get done as the survivors.
5 generators rebuilt and then open the escape door and get out. Wow, you got some of the most sickest killers coming after you.
They got Chucky. They did a Chucky DLC or whatever. They added Chucky.
Yeah, they have Chucky. They just did Castlevania add-on. So you have the monster in Castlevania. You have Nightmare Before Elm Street. Freddy Krueger.
I was
like, what the heck is his name?
Why can't I think of his name?
Yeah, they have them all in there. And then their own like killers that they created. And the killers that they created they're absolutely terrifying. The one lady walks around and she's humming. So you know she's somewhere around you, but she's just humming. Ooh. There's one that you can shoot like crows at you. And then you just got, I don't know, ravens maybe. And then you just have these ravens that are flying around your head, pecking you at you. And you're trying to hide and you got damn birds pecking at your head.
Get out here, crows.
And then I play it with Nando quite a bit. And Nando... it's something even more real about it when you have to save your child in the game. I'm coming, Nando.
He just makes you feel like a superhero.
Where you're like, I can't believe my son hasn't come to save me. I've been on this hook for like 30 seconds. Why is he repairing a generator? Your dad is dying.
How the tables have turned.
Is there a problem, Daddy?
You all right over there? I just gotta do this real quick. Just gotta build this real quick.
I heard my allowance was $20 this week, Daddy.
I'll come get you off that hook when you make it 30.
Better watch how you talk to me, Daddy. I'll leave you up there longer.
God, take me long. I'll make it 40. Come on, come get me.
He's really good at it though. He's a total gamer kid. He wants that. Before, like I might have had a passion for this, but at the end of the day, I was just really just a workhorse. Like you give me a job and then I do it. My son is passionate about this. He's been wanting to be a streamer since the day he was born. So it takes another step for me as being such a sports kid.
Yeah.
I have to, because you take a lot of backlash as knowing a lot of parents who take the typical sports route.
Yeah.
Because everything becomes scheduled. Everything becomes this, all the way up until you're your own man.
Yeah.
Woman.
And it's so hard with this era because of the technology. And that's kind of what we're getting into today is the technology that's coming out now is making it so easy for everybody to be a streamer that everyone wants to do it.
100%. But it's been that way for a while. I mean, the idea of individuals trying to be YouTube famous.
I mean, dude, I started streaming like 5 years ago, or maybe it was less than that, maybe 4. But anyways, and I was late jumping on the bandwagon, and so people are still wanting to get on and do that.
Yeah, and it's not
going away.
Well, it's just it's so inundated with the same podcast right now. There's nothing really new. You got guys like Bamskis who keeps it really interesting in the mornings with lively energy and talking about a multitude of different things where it's not the news where you're inundated with fear. It's not the news,
but I'm sure most cities have a guy on the radio in the mornings that gets them amped and gets them chipper,
I don't know. I've been listening to the radio for a long time, and like, what, you have Big Boy in the radio?
Well, I mean, here. Well,
Big Boy isn't even from Montana. He's out of LA.
Why? When did we switch to talk radio in the mornings? Most places are talk radio in the mornings. Why? Everyone wants to listen to somebody talk in the morning.
I think it's because it's commercials. they're already hearing people talking. Why not just
you
continue
can
with it?
slide in commercials a lot easier when someone's just sitting there blabbermouthing anyways, and then it comes on. Do you
like if you
feel
listen
like
to
you're
any
depressed?
podcast, they've gotten way better about their commercials within the podcasting because they tie in, or like, not the commercial's not always the same thing.
Yeah,
Over and over and over and over.
And
again.
like how Kill Tony and Joe Rogan do it is they are the ones reading the commercials. So it's, it's not too far out of line for their listeners to be like, oh, I can listen to friggin' Tony talk about boner pills for a minute.
Well, and then everybody I'm sure those guys are comedians. They're looking for ticket sales.
Yeah.
The fact that you watch them on YouTube means nothing to them. They literally just want eyes on them. That's it.
Yeah.
Because those same people will turn around and go to their comedy clubs and spend a fortune. They'll go on tour. They'll sell out the Madison Square Gardens 2 nights in a row.
Tony Hinchcliffe is pretty proud of his #1 live podcast on YouTube, so I think he does care that people watch him on YouTube.
Yeah, but that is
come on,
it's
he
the
does.
title at the end of the day, I believe.
Yeah, it is, but he owns it pretty hard. Every show he's telling people. I would too, Tony. I get it.
I'll go to war against Tony. That's a dangerous thing, but I'll go to war with him if I can get on that show.
If I can. Oh.
I'll show up with all of the crabs and all the rocks in my pocket.
I'm like Cam Patterson.
I'm the Crab Patterson.
I'm the Crab Patterson. Oh man.
I'm the Crab Patterson of Montgomery.
Oh man. This is kind of funny. The co-pilot was nice to me today.
Yeah, my buddy is slowly just trying to get rid of me.
I think I shouldn't say this. Sorry, buddy. I think the buddy's racist, man.
He didn't,
Telling you kept telling me he wasn't giving your energy back, and today I was like, "Hey, thanks, buddy. You're the best." And he's like, "You're welcome. Let me know when you need me. I hope you have a good day podcasting." Ben's over here like, what the fuck?
I've yet, and this is obviously we're headed into episode 9 today, correctly? And not once have I gotten a description that said, "Happy podcasting." He did. My buddy didn't even tell me happy podcasting. He told Kurt directly, "Happy podcasting."
Yeah. He knew, he could tell by the way I form my sentences that it wasn't you.
Yeah, they were like, "Well, this is actually spelled correctly.
This is somebody else."
It's National Punctuation Day. This guy's using
He's
it.
had 9 episodes now. Buddy's had 9 episodes, and we've kind of switched back and forth on who's been asking for the descriptions. So it took him a few days to figure out my writing style compared to yours, and now he's like, "All right, I can confidently say this is the white man." I'll give him a compliment back.
You gotta do that. He's just looking at you.
Oh, you're right. 100%. Dude, he's got cameras all over that thing.
When I heard that you don't even need to have a single camera in a room to know exactly what the room looks like because they can just ping it off their Wi-Fi and fill in the room. Yeah, you got it. You guys win.
Dang. That is I heard that as a defense for someone saying that that Google Earth spent a long time rebuilding the Earth, and then that's why we're in a virtual reality now, is because they were able to do that. Because they were able to find out what the inside of everyone's home looks like and what it felt like, obviously it's far-fetched.
Remember those guys who had the Google cars and they would drive around? They had that thing that would just spin on top of their car.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're mapping, dude.
When I look at something like that, I'm like, that guy was making like $20 an hour to drive around with a pinwheel on the top of his car.
Yeah, and you know what? He probably got all sorts of radiation poisoning from that thing. If it was just a freaking radar scanner, freaking...
Do guys who chase, like, because it looks like one of those deals that you chase tornadoes with that you got to put up in the middle of it, like from Twister, We got to get
Dude,
up.
can you imagine the technology change in that department? I'm
Yeah.
talking about technology, like, because back in Twister days, they
It hasn't really changed all. I would say, yeah, it's changed a lot, but not that dramatic. And I think it has a lot to do with the funding that they probably have. I'm sure there's not a ton of funding.
I know you still got to chase your storms down, but I bet you the comparison to when was that movie made? The 80s, 90s, 90s.
But they have a lot of these like drop deals that like those shake, and like that's what like a lot of them is. The technology it's gotten smaller, and you just put like you have multiple locations. And those are like those early weather detection systems. But
I feel like it'd be way easier now to just throw a balloon up into a twister with a GoPro sized computer monitoring system that's cased, you know?
Yeah, you think. I mean, I wonder if it just comes with the force of it. Just tosses it.
Yeah, and then you have a tracker on it, and you go find it, and it's collected its data. And
Well, they do have that. As far as being able to be in the eye of the storm, they'll put it underneath stuff, and then they just so they can sit there on the ground and pick up and do exactly that.
Dude, can you imagine being the first person to see a tornado? You just watch the sky get dark and then green.
Being somewhere that now there's no buildings.
Yeah,
take all the buildings out, and it's just
like you're on the plains of Texas.
Well, it'd be like Oklahoma
or something
Kansas,
like that. Yeah,
right there in Tornado Alley.
And then so it's all trees and ripping and throwing trees at you. Oh,
you're walking.
Yeah,
you're not driving through it.
Yeah, exactly. You're walking with your little pack on your back, and you're like, man, that cloud looks dark over there.
And then you get past it. Say you survive that first one. It's Tornado Alley. There's another tornado ahead.
Not only that, what do you go tell the tribesmen when you get back? The sky got angry, started throwing trees at me.
And because during tornado season, I mean, you'll have it between Oklahoma and like Nebraska and Kansas, and they'll just they get wrecked every year.
Certain time of year too. Every one.
And
they would have had to think that living there, you got to be like, man, we got to move, man.
I want to know like the people who are like, yeah, I got bit by a rattlesnake, and the pastor had me get bit by a rattlesnake, and I'm healed.
Wait,
yeah, look it up.
That's happened back in the days.
Well, the Southern Baptist churches, yeah, they have some.
Maybe they're onto something, dude.
No, definitely not. It becomes like there's like people like who will start walking from sheer adrenaline, and then the adrenaline wears off, and then it turns out, no, my legs are they don't work. But I mean, there's so many of those cases, false like healing, touching them. Oh, you're saved. You can walk again. Walk.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple of those. Smacks them on the forehead.
It's so funny to watch those two, and they do get hit, and they just collapse.
They just believe. I got the Jesus smacked into me, man.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. I probably would get caught up in, like, if I went to one of those mega churches, I probably would get caught up all in it.
I mean, I was watching Sam and Colby.
Go full on Ricky Bobby with it.
When I was watching Sam and Colby, they were doing the ritual, and I was like, like when you start to tear up, you can feel it in your eyes. I was like, why am I getting sucked in like this? Like, why am I'm not part of this ritual right now? Like,
the demons coming through my TV.
Yeah, it's just like, I know what I did. I feel like that's what would happen to me. The same thing. It'd be like, it's too close.
Yeah, thank God we don't have to do really any fact checking today. We got a lot of fact checking out of the way yesterday.
Yeah, we'll keep it a little lighter today. Even like I said, we just went on that 20-minute deep dive before we went live yesterday, and that was.
There's so much to unpack yesterday. We could probably go into each one of those individually and break it all the way down and make episodes.
Right, and then of Of course, my phone was listening to us all day yesterday. So as soon as I get home, it was just Diddy this and Diddy that and Diddy this. And there's so much more stuff that I saw on Diddy yesterday.
And then plus between, I
we ain't even gonna
100%
do that.
in the same boat because it started with Diddy and now it's on to Jay-Z. Kevin Hart's next.
Yeah, dude. So I saw a video last night that was Diddy sitting with his kid in front of a statue, just listing names, dude. Just listing names.
So Diddy's going, he's like, I ain't going down.
Basically,
I'm taking everybody with me.
Well, and then the final thing he said, he zoomed in on the camera and he goes, and sometimes they get too big to forget that they signed a contract that says they have to answer the phone.
Oh, snap. Yeah, and that's the wild part is because now it literally all got broken down to litigation. The blackmailing. There's a reason why you had. I mean, Suge Knight was so feared because he would go in and force people to be under his record label, and now he owns you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, guess what? Guess how many
slavery?
Guess how many executive heads of studios for music departments stepped down days after Diddy got. There's at least 3.
Wow.
Sony. And 300 Entertainment, which I think is the Universals.
Okay.
And so some of the biggest heads.
Universal is always in something.
They stepped down, bro, right after Diddy went to fucking jail. At that point, though, I could see it. If stuff's about to go south, whether it be true or not, even if the rumors are about to come out, I'd step down too.
There's a reason. Like,
quit while you're ahead.
Like an allegation gets thrown at you, it's better. I don't know. It's not even better, but
get the company's name out of it.
It's its own move to get out of.
Get the company's name out of it. If you're going to take litigation, just bring litigations on me, I guess. Which makes sense. I can see that. Keep your company safe, you know. Stepping down, I'm sure you still own a bunch of stock options, and he's going to be just fine.
Oh, 100%.
You know, yeah.
It's not going to hurt. I mean, his image.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, you can make a lot, but if you have that like love in the limelight, that's definitely hard to ever come back from.
At the same
There's so
time,
many people who have just had allegations thrown at them, but that'd be false. And then the next thing you know, for the rest of your life, you're a pedophile or you're this or that. And it's because even if it gets settled
Michael
out
Jackson,
of court,
dude. Michael Jackson was proved not guilty on all accounts of anything he was charged for, but yet I grew up thinking he was a child molester.
And they had a really good way of making it hard to believe that he wasn't.
Yeah.
And I still can't and that's where we get into there's so much out there. Like you said, you can look up both things and find it's saying
it's so impossible.
Both of them.
We're getting too stuck on yesterday though.
But like I'm just saying, like the leaks that come out and the blackmail that gets pulled out, and you're like, okay, who are the original people even involved in this, or is it everybody's yes men around them that are handling the situation for these people? And then next thing you know,
it gets out of hand. And
because remember, Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah.
Remember how Puff Daddy played in Get Him to the Greek? You think that was out of nowhere?
No, that was them showing you in plain sight
how Diddy gets down.
What happens in the music industry? Yeah, it was as close. I mean, not really that close, but it was
I
just
wouldn't even say it's just the music industry. It's just that is the most glorified thing.
What they did is they made it look like, oh, this is just ridiculous comedy and so out there. This would never be what he's really like. Oh, this is just craziness. This is just for this movie. But that's really who he is. You ever been mind fucked? I'm mind fucking you right now.
Well, that's literally his whole MO. He's even doing it right now. I mean, they're saying he's on suicide watch because he supposedly might kill himself, but then they're saying that this is Like it's an op in itself that he's
Dude,
gonna
he's gonna get Jeffrey Epstein. Guess what, guys?
Well,
Cameras glitched out and he did
you
it.
and I are making these assumptions, I have to say that the majority is gonna say it. So if something does happen to him, it's almost like you openly admitting that you guys
saw a good clip together. It was Diddy's on Suicide Watch, and then it goes to a clip from Back to the Future. Oh, I've seen this one before. Yep. So everyone's putting that together, dude.
They never came out and said that he was on Suicide Watch.
Yeah, 100%. They said, yep, he's on Suicide Watch. Oh, cameras glitched out and he hung himself. No.
Another one. Is Epstein ever been shown to be able to tie a knot like that? You know what I mean? Get the job done.
You always go back to the knots. Not just because you weren't a Boy Scout.
Yeah,
they don't teach you that in Boy Scouts.
Well, I mean, they definitely would teach you. But maybe you have to wait till Eagle Scouts, but Tiger Scouts, whatever it's after
it's
Boy
like,
Scouts.
All right, yep. Now that you guys are old enough to realize that all your scout leaders were raping you, here's how you make a noose.
That was, the sad part, it was coming on both sides. There was women who were touching little girls inappropriately because it was on the girl side of things, and then everybody up in arms because there was trans men and women.
So yeah, now did they combine it into one, or were they talking about that, the Boys and Girls? I thought they were talking about doing.
And even at that, I was like,
it's too much.
There's certain skills that.
I mean, they do teach you some good skills.
I was going to say,
100%.
I think it does kind of make sense to have them join together and do their own thing, like do activities separately.
Yeah, I think, 100%.
Because it's not like it's not an actual sport. It's not like UFC
get them together for certain things, right? You know,
that actually makes way more sense to me than to have them separated, because there's a lot of stuff they teach in the Girl Scouts that would be really beneficial to little boys. Hell, just cooking in general.
Yeah. I wish I would have paid more attention to my mom cooking in the kitchen.
That's about the only thing I was good for, standing behind her and going, I'm like a dog waiting for something to fall off the...
Can I get a tortilla?
All the time. You always have to have somebody in there with you who can play distraction, so you can come in from behind and get... And you get smacked. I told you to stay out of those tortillas.
Then it comes dinner time, you only get 1.5. She's like, you ate all the tortillas.
She must have made so many tortillas growing up, because now she's got like carpal tunnel in her wrists. She only do it like 3-4 times a year.
Oh man,
yeah, she's falling apart.
She must have made a bunch of
tortillas. So go like, share, subscribe, find us on everything, so I could take care of my mama.
Dude, I told my mom I'd take care of her. When I can't send her to an old folks home. You want to just we'll buy a fucking house for our moms to live at when they get old? You can live together.
I would say that they would probably make a pretty good roommates.
They would. I could see it.
They keep each other company.
I could see them having fun. Maybe too much. Does your mom like wine?
Yeah. Okay. She's more of a mimosa.
Ooh. She'd be making mimosas with all my mom's wine. Oh yeah, man, there you go. Yeah, dear, that'd be so funny. That'd be dangerous.
They're all just,
Our dads never really hung out either, did they?
No. But our dads were men. They worked.
Yeah, but I could
sit around.
I could see them being pretty good friends too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I would say. When my dad was in his heyday, they would have really got along. I don't know. Like, my dad comes off really like he knows everything a lot, which rubs people wrong.
I don't know. I don't think my dad would. I don't think it'd bother my dad. I'm sure he's dealt with that.
No, and but I'm saying, like, there's a certain tolerance that it's all like, I have several people, like, you love them to death. But I know you're not for everybody.
Yeah, my dad's tolerance level, I think, would be okay, because he deals with some people out on like the oil rig stuff where he's like, oh yeah, you may technically be my boss, but you don't know shit, So
in that regard, they'd always, I think they could small talk with the best of them.
Yeah,
but I don't.
You don't think they'd be best of friends? They'd get along. Yeah, there you go. They'd get along, but they wouldn't be.
Yeah, but I was gonna say at the end of the day, my dad gets along with literally everybody. He's very compassionate. He's really, as far as that side of everything goes, not the always.
Not the
in his words, he wasn't born a pastor.
Oh man, that is pretty interesting that your dad's a pastor now. That blows me away.
Oh, before you forget, Kirk's Grocery, 9/28. I think that's coming up here this weekend.
That they're doing it.
They had a 24-hour party over there
At Kirk's Grocery? Where's that?
That's a great question. I have to get on.
We'll have to look it up. Okay.
You can go ahead and tag it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour party at a grocery store.
Yeah, but I think they're doing like in different hourly events all the way through. Like you can sign up for different blocks of the party from like 8 to noon, like 2 to 7, and like the 7 to midnight.
Is it a 24-hour grocery store, obviously, then? Or they're just staying open for 24 hours? I think it's
like a full-on grocery store. I think it's like kind of a little hippie store.
I think need to know.
Like,
we're going to find out.
But obviously, the very first thing is yoga. Is start the morning with some yoga.
Oh.
So that's pretty dope.
You going to go do some yoga? Probably not.
That's a...
I'm not.
Priorities.
Dude, I can't switch.
Yeah, this podcast or something. We got.
When is that?
It is on the 28th.
28th.
I'm just really excited to go hear Amanda Sue's the live special edition. I can only imagine what her voice is like live.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I can tell. Yeah.
Which I'm pretty excited. It just seems like there's a lot of big things happening locally.
I wonder if anyone... Oh, we might be able to print stickers, bro.
Yeah.
If we can buy a piece of paper that is
a pullback.
Yeah.
Easy peasy then.
And then they'll just have to be square white stickers with our logo in it, but that would work.
Cool.
Maybe.
You hear that, guys? We're
thinking.
We're not even supposed to let you guys in on this. This is behind the scenes.
But yeah, we'll go take some stickers out and just hand them out for free at that show.
Oh,
because I'm sure Amanda would be okay with us handing out our stickers at her show.
We're like best friends now. It's no big deal.
She tunes into the lives every morning and shares our stuff.
Oh yeah, basically
she's the best.
She's pretty awesome,
and she sings the best.
I was gonna say shout out her and her man. Pretty cool.
Heck yeah, it'd be good to see him.
He does the
poi. Oh, dude, that stuff's so cool.
Tossing around.
Yeah, the poi.
It's pretty cool. I don't know. I'd probably end up whacking myself in the face. It's like nunchucks.
You
Nunchucks always sound cool until you start flinging the bad boys around.
You learn with those light ones, the ones that are just like a little glowing light, so that you can do it with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what poi is technically, with fire.
What do you think is cooler? When they toss the fire or when they do it like the pins tossing fire? Like juggling the fire?
Probably the poi. Yeah. Juggling flaming pins is cool and all, but I think I juggle torches on Minecraft all the time. I want to see someone do something that I can.
You hear that? You better come harder if you're gonna step to flaming.
I'm gonna do that now. Make a short of me just juggling torches, except for it's just me scrolling through my inventory between 3 torches.
See, that hard.
Juggling.
I can do that. So what else we got going on? I know we had Dr. Disrespect in the news.
Yeah.
Disrespecting his wife.
Oh, man. Not good.
So
Not good. Dr. Disrespect, yeah, apparently. Allegedly, he was messaging a minor illicitly, or sexting as some people called it. He defined it.
How old is this minor?
I don't know 17, if we ever. I don't 16?
Know. Does it go below that?
He
apologize,
allegedly.
Everybody. Usually we would have
allegedly. Yeah, we'd have DJ here getting our for sure information, but allegedly She was above the age of consent, but not 18. So I'm guessing 16 or 17, depending on the state that she lives in. There's an age of consent, but whatever. That's still no way to defend it. Absolutely no way to defend it. But he came out, and that's kind of what he was trying to say. And I don't even know if his wife left him or if they're still
That's
together.
the part that becomes so bad. It's like,
well,
man, you're married.
Yeah, I feel bad for him a little bit because he lost his company, or I guess his co-founded company. They just made a brand new video game.
Your life is being in the limelight, everybody looking at you.
Can't do that shit.
I mean, come on now.
You
So
can't
it's like,
do that
to
shit.
defend him in any type
It's
of way. It's
yeah,
like,
I know. It's
and
yeah.
why would he deserve any sort of passionate
Why would
towards
he?
him? Because like you look at him, how other people have had those allegations thrown at him, and man, everybody just can't wait to dive onto him, bury him.
Yep.
So why does he deserve any passion?
I don't know. I guess I have
Compassion.
I had
Not passion, just compassion.
I was a fan. He was funny. His character, his Dr. Disrespect character was funny. But
Kevin Hart is funny.
yeah, you just can't do that shit. Especially someone like that. And maybe he was connived. Maybe she lied to him. Maybe she said she was old enough and wasn't. And then,
Bam.
you know,
There's
we don't know.
always more to the
Yeah.
story. So, yeah.
Because that was
if I
kind of
learned anything from talking with DJs, don't speak in absolutes.
yeah, 100%. And I never do. I don't know 100%.
Unless you're waking up next to the diddler every morning, walking around with the diddler all day, every day, who knows what happened?
Yeah, and even then, you might have been drugged, so you don't even know what happened.
Maybe you'll have a little Bill Cosby barbecue sauce. The hibbity-jibbitties.
It's called Diddy's Baby Oil.
That one video with Justin Bieber, man, that is nuts after drinking that Ciroc. He looks
Well,
twisted.
dude, and even just like one of the first videos of like Diddy, and when Diddy was hanging out with Justin for 48 hours, going back and looking at it now, it looks so sus. He's just like, yeah, got Justin Bieber here for 48 hours with Diddy. They're just having the time of their lives. And Justin Bieber's kind of looking at the camera like, yeah, maybe.
Did you hear about it? He's like, well, I haven't given you my number, and you're always wanting to get my number.
Right,
And I was
yeah.
like, this just keeps getting...
How come you don't come and hang out like you used to? It's like, come on, Diddy.
And Bieber would have been what? He was
He's
just a child.
Yeah, he was like 14 at that time, dude.
Why? That's
why were his parents okay with him being at Diddy's house?
There's another thing. I mean, is the little boy just sneaking out always? Is it just...
No, he didn't sneak out of Canada to go into America. He had custody was given to Usher, and Usher gave custody to Diddy for 48 hours, is how I heard it went down.
But either way, you know what I mean? There's just so many strings being pulled by puppeteers.
And who knows? And is any of it true? Is it all just blackmail or fakes leaks?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of people profiting. If you keep following the money, I mean, you'll see who's profiting.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
And then you're like, okay, so we keep talking about this. What is actually happening and behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep, exactly. I have a feeling something is going behind the scenes, whether that be like a Supreme Court judge or some other court case that's going on. Did you know Gillespie is actually in jail? I looked into that last night from the Epstein case.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah, but how come none of that was like ever, that wasn't big news. She finally got done with her court case, and she's finally put in jail, and she's finally serving her 20 years. Nobody said anything about that in the news.
That's a great question. I mean,
and maybe I'm biased because I didn't. My news feed wouldn't have showed me that for sure either.
She was also in the documentary, though.
Well, dude, yeah, So
as actively saying that she was the one who was helping solicit them and bring them back.
That's exactly what she went to Georgeville for assisting in all the drug trafficking and stuff.
But I guess from your standpoint, you were wishing that they would have drug her through the mud in the same way.
Or at least, and like I said, maybe I'm biased because my news feed probably wouldn't have showed me it anyways. But they never like came to the final. What is it when you need
Conclusion?
final closure?
Oh.
They never gave the United States final closure on Gillespie. At least for me, I never saw somewhere in the news where it was like Gillespie
Something tells
finally got
me
charged, and
they got Gillespie out of there, and she said the things that she was supposed to say. Because, like you said,
her
you're
court
clearing
case.
out the very bottom of the rung, and she gets brought in higher into an organization where she has more power, more protection, and she knows all the
Ins and outs,
underbelly,
yeah.
disgusting side of it.
Well, she is in prison in Florida, so they did. But I would have thought that
Doesn't
they would
mean
have.
when she gets out, she can't go right back.
Oh,
to what
yeah.
she's doing, especially if she's got those type of people, influencers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that there's a whole group of individuals who would literally go out of their way to, you know, show the world these pedophiles.
I know this is way off topic, but talking about like sinisterness kind of got me thinking about this. Have you seen what Tom Segura is doing to Garth Brooks?
Bro, that has been going on for years.
That's so funny. I just found that out last night. That's so fucking hilarious.
I mean, it just seems awfully coincidental that there's these murders that keep happening, and it's right after Garth Brooks shows.
Right after tour dates line up specifically. And then you watch a video of
I'm
Garth
not saying
Brooks, and
it,
he
I'm
actually
just-
does kind of look. The video that I watched last night, it showed a clip of Garth Brooks like getting interviewed by somebody, and he did look really creepy when he smiled at this interviewer. I was like, it was just.
You just have to look at so much Garth Brooks, man. He had a different personality at one point, right?
No.
He was Chris Gaines. He was a singer. He was like he tried to go pop.
Oh.
He was not going to be Garth Brooks anymore. And I can pull it up. It's so damn funny. He almost looks borderline like he's trying to be emo. Here, hold on.
Garth Brooks?
big
Is he
fan of
crazy,
Poland.
dude?
He went for it. Ready for it? There he is. There's the Garth Brooks.
Oh my goodness. He looks like fucking Zoolander.
He almost verbatim looks like Zoolander. You can't we'll post this later on. We got Derek Zoolander.
Derek Zoolander. I am Garth Brooks.
What, you've never had your friends freakishly die in a gasoline fighting accident?
Oh, such a dumb
Never
movie.
enough.
Yeah, I ran out of coffee a long time ago.
This guy really hit me with,
It'll be enough.
try to tell him.
And then it wasn't enough.
It's never enough. I don't even got a DJ here to make fresh.
Don't give up.
Struggle.
Never give up.
So, you're telling me about, you want to talk about Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, just kind of, we were getting into the technology of video games and kind of how even just compared to a couple years ago.
There's a ton of people who don't even know what Unreal Engine.
Well, you remember,
I remember
what?
Unreal, like the
Well,
games.
yeah, what was it called? Unreal.
Well, I know they did like Oddworld, and they did a bunch of games.
It was the one,
early PlayStation games,
and it was the one where everybody. It was kind of like the first battle royale. Everyone jumps in. It was like a Halo style. I can't remember what that one was called. It was Unreal something. But they went away from designing video games and started designing a platform for the developers.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so now the Unreal Engine is like, what game were we playing? Nightingale is a new game that we're playing, and it's built in the Unreal Engine. So now they've completely changed, and yeah, they are. Apparently, it's supposed to be really, really good. It kind of uses a little bit of AI to generate. So you just type in something like jungle trees with a cave in it, and then it'll kind of generate that, and you can like move things. It's supposed to be the next generation in game development, which is going to be super,
that
super
would
cool.
be really, really effective for like a Sims game.
Yeah, I wonder
Where
what
you could
Inzoy
just-
is made in. I wonder if they did it in
If
Unreal
you
Engine.
could literally walk into the house and have AI literally build you your entire house instead of having your basic layouts that are preset when you're building the game.
Yeah,
you
'cause that's-
could just walk in and have your own dimensions, your own layout, and AI could handle all of that for you.
Because 7 Days to
Copyright it.
Die.
If nobody else is on that, I copyright it. You hear hers. Give me the patents.
Oh, don't
There's-
Terrence Howard me.
There's 7,000
I'm
other
sure there's people
already
patented
working on
it,
it,
yeah.
but I'm the first. If
But
nobody said anything,
that would make sense because in 7 Days to Die, it did feel like pretty repetitive. You see the same house, and you're like, okay, I've been in that house before. I know where all the nooks and crannies are. So I mean, they did pretty good about having different and what they called POIs, point of interests.
I was like, is anybody doing that in a game where they're taking AI and you know how you always have your general layouts? If you could have AI generate a random map every time.
That is how No Man's Sky does it, and it's not quite AI. It's called procedural generation, I believe. And so when you show up, it generates that planet, so I guess when you fly into that star system, it procedurally generates that star system and says this planet will be this planet will be this, will there be any space paddles, and blah blah blah. So then the next time you come back, it's been coded into there now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's random until you get there, but then once you get there and discover it, then that locks it into whatever world it is. That's how they were able to get a game that had 8 quadrillion planets in it or whatever. And it's only 14
what
gigs.
It takes, though.
It's one of the smallest games I've ever downloaded on my computer.
14 gigs?
Yeah, 14 gigabytes when Grand Theft Auto is 60 gigabytes, I think.
That's still relatively small.
Maybe Grand Theft Auto, the last one, might even have been 120.
I was going to say, because Fallout, I have like 250 gigs, it seems like, on Fallout.
That might be right. Holy shit. Yeah, but yeah, 14.
Yeah,
I went to go download
ridiculous.
No Man's Sky, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to have space on my computer because I don't have a lot of memory space in there. And I was like, 14 gigs? I was like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
Downloaded it. I was like, let's go, dude. And it's one of the biggest games out there. But that's obviously because it's running off a server, right?
If you could get psychedelics back, like the 60s and 70s, No Man's Sky would be the best to stream.
Dude.
Like if it became back like full on like the 60s, everybody just on acid and you're playing that game, you would take so many people along for that ride.
Playing it in
psychedelics is going to catch back on like that.
No, not recreational. If it does catch back on, it's going to be medicinal and people are going to be using it for good, for the right ways. Hopefully we get shamans back, man. We need Joe Rogan to go do 10 sets of ayahuasca, learn how to be a shaman, come back to the US, open up a shaman kava house.
Okay, so this is a good question. So you have your Sherpa, who is your go-to, like, I am terrified, I'm having a bad trip, somebody get me, talk to me in this moment. Is Joe Rogan going to be that guy for you? You're like, Joe can talk me out of this.
Yeah, he could. Joe could. He's my guy. He could, but I haven't really dealt with bad trips, but if I was like having a bad trip and had to like close my eyes and sit there and try to get into a good place, it might be Joe who pops in there, dude.
I think
either that or one of my family members.
I go his counterpart. I go Duncan Trussell. I go or Shane Mouse.
Shane Gillis could probably talk me down to, whoa, guy. Calm down, dude. You're freaking out.
You realize he's like 6. I think he's like 6'4".
Yeah, I know. So he'd be like,
yeah,
calm down, bro.
Pick you up and throw you on your shoulder and put you in a closet for 8 hours. Yeah, just let him out when he's chilled out a little bit.
Yeah. What's going on with Curtis? He's sitting in the closet just giggling. Yeah, he thinks Shane Gillis is giving him a piggyback ride.
Did you see Shane Gillis on this latest? He was trolling some kid. He was a soccer player. And he was like, man, I'm tired of all these kickers always missing. I don't understand how they can suck so bad. It's so easy to kick a football. Like, it's so easy, And he had to drill a 45-yard field goal with, and it's right through the uprights, but it comes up short, like 10 yards short. And Gillis just shit all over him. He's like, I kind of was rooting for you. Now you seem pretty arrogant. Kind of hope you don't do it now. If he misses, I think Notre Dame's gonna win, and then all of a sudden he is short, and Shane just roasts him. Go Notre Dame.
You seen his new Bud Light commercial?
I have. I really wish he would have stayed because it just seems too safe. Seems way too safe.
Yeah, but it's just the start of the football season. Let it get the Super Bowl time. That's when you get to bring out the big guns and let Shane go a little crazy at Super Bowl. I think
if they would have him be the Bud Light.
I
Knight.
know you are, dude. You're so on with that. That would be a great commercial. Bring them back the Bud Light night, and legit.
He like pops his thing up
shink, and here he is. Yeah,
he's like, gay. Something that
shouldn't be said on a commercial. Do it on Super Bowl so it'll be okay.
And then you just go, oh, that was Shane goes.
Yep.
They're probably waiting.
Something like
Bud Light's like, shut up. Shut up.
You're giving away our ideas. We already stole this idea from you last week.
That's how funny I thought that was. I wrote that to Bud Light.
Dude, that's funny.
I didn't get a like. I didn't get a share. I didn't get a nothing from something. They just steal my idea.
Don't worry. I don't think I'm going to get a response back to the big company I emailed. Shout out Hello Games. Is actually the makers of No Man's Sky. Yeah, speaking of, we're talking about No Man's Sky. Yeah, I emailed them 2 nights ago. They're making a new game called Light No Fire. And I begged and pleaded them to give me early access to it so I can stream it. I was like, I've played No Man's Sky since launch. I've got like 300 hours into No Man's Sky. You guys even pulled 30 hours of my progress because I was duping stuff. Sorry, won't happen again. Parentheses. Yeah, because I did get wiped, dude.
This guy is up my ass for City Brew, and I'm trying to promote them. And this guy's over here duping No Man's Sky and trying to get them to help him out.
Well, so that was years ago. This is what happened. I learned a glitch. You could dupe items. My brother had really expensive items. I was duping them, selling them. I had like $200 million. And then one day I log into No Man's Sky and I'm on a planet I was on months ago. And I'm like, this isn't where my base is. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I'll go to travel to my bases, and all the 5 recent bases that I had made were gone. They pulled 30 hours of my content, 30 hours of my gameplay. They reverted my save back to before I had duped anything.
And okay, let's delve into this a little bit because this is interesting. Because now you're like, that's okay when they do it, when they actively can just go into your thing and just mess with it, and you just have to accept it. You think that's cool?
I was so pissed. I didn't play No Man's Sky for 2 years after that.
So what made you?
What made me go back? They had new updates, and
you little whore.
There
was something shiny. You ran right to it.
There is no other game that is the space exploration game that I want. That is, No Man's Sky is that. You build your own ships now, which was one of the, I think, which one of the newer expansions. There's so much to do. You could literally go and do whatever you want.
They don't have another space exploration game, period.
No, yes. There's like Star Citizen is a new one that just came out. It was pretty good. But
No
it's
Man's
not
Sky
like
would predate that. So
yeah, it would predate that. So Star Wars games. So it's like it was almost a Star Wars games. Like, see, because that's what I wanted, right? I really wish if they even just put in some type of laser sword on fucking.
Just call it laser sword.
Just call it the laser sword. Yep. Just call it a laser sword, and even make it have a wide blade. You know what I mean? Like a sword type blade. I don't think I'd ever stop playing anything, but
that would be pretty cool. I love that. Even with Nier has that where you have like a laser sword, I guess but they did it in a cool sense where like it's almost like a summoning thing where it's like it's got a whole aura around it while you're using it.
Well, see, and they could do that with this one, make it kind of be like a plasma beam that comes out of a little thing.
No Man's Sky, if you heard that, he copyrighted it. It's been
Hello Games. I emailed you. give me access to Light No Fire because that game is going to be amazing. I will stream it every single day and I will talk great about it. Even if it's got bugs, I'll tell people they're still working on it. Give me access. Email me back.
That's all it takes. You think that would,
Well, the problem is I didn't stream enough No Man's Sky. If I would have streamed 80% of my No Man's Sky gameplay, I could send them all that footage and be like, look at me, I stream. But lately I haven't been streaming. All my content's GTA. Like if you look at my TikTok, it's all GTA shit. And like,
but that shows you like on the back end how much, it's not just I'm sitting in front of
a game. Yeah, I'm making clips.
Yeah, there's so much to it. You got to clip, you got to talk to people, you got to reach out, email.
Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have sent him links to my TikTok and my fucking gaming page and then the podcast too, because if they see the podcast and they're like, boom, then there he is. He's fucking talking more about him.
Half the battle though is to reach out and not be scared like you act, because it's terrifying. My guys have both admitted it. This shit is anxiety ridden to the T. It sucks when you have to try to be open and share yourself with the world.
Did you look up and see what you're supposed to do when getting a sponsor? I looked up the 5 steps. It's nuts. We got to like put together our things of what it's gonna benefit for them, and then we've got to put down another thing of what it's gonna benefit us, and then we got to do like a contract on what we're expecting and what they expect, and like, it was nuts, dude. It was a 5-step thing, and those 5 steps, I was like, oh yeah, like we got to actually have documentation writing down what we think it's gonna do to help them, and kind of how many eyes are we actually getting on it. And like, dude, yeah, it's not just like yo sponsorship, fucking hook it up, fucking City Brew, let's go. It's not just like that. We're gonna
keep going. Yeah, we're gonna until City Brew says yes. But we can get smarter.
That's one of our documents that we take in is the clip of us just going City Brew, City Brew, City Brew, City Brew, City Brew, City Brew, City Brew. Dude, if I clip them all together, if I take the time to watch all fucking 10 hours of our shit no. DJ's gonna have to edit the next fucking week of fucking shorts.
He's gotten very good. If you guys have a chance, go look at the
latest short was Not Me. Hands off on Not Me. DJ is now editing, and
I can still honestly say I haven't really learned anything now.
Well, and this is what I love. He sent it to me and I was like, that is nothing what I would do, right?
What he sent me? He goes, yeah, it's rough or whatever. You could I don't know, you just put in an email or just do whatever you guys are gonna do with it. I don't really care.
It was. So I did have to.
It was good though. I started giving him back a little bit of feedback, and you could tell he was just like, it's whatever.
Not taking the feedback very good yet.
No, but okay. It's just because he, this is his very first thing, dude. And it really does feel. I'm sure like your little baby you just made.
Yeah. You don't want it. You don't want it to be judged, of course, but I loved it. So it's not, and this is where it blows me away. I would have never thought to like add other images in there, right? And it's just like not my style. My editing style is to grab what's there, use what you got, and like zoom in on it and like do the thing. And him sending me that, I was like, wow, it's fucking great. If he can refine that style, that's a great style.
Oh, he's brilliant when it comes to, and I love that so much. He brings in other dynamic and a way of thinking that
I love it. Yeah, that's why 2 people editing is going to be great, because then some people might love my style of videos and some people might love his. So there's only a couple things I had to clean up. His crops, the way he cropped a couple things, I had to clean up a few of those, and then there was one I couldn't clean up. So it was like 2 scenes that I had to clean up a little bit, and then noises. I just added some noises. That's really all I had to do. Because if you're doing that really poppy stuff where you're going to change to a display or something, you got to have some type of noise to like, whoosh. And even just a little. Whoosh.
Well, even if you have like not the smoothest transition, the noises will make those transitions all the smoother.
Yep.
Which I was real impressed. It's like I've been just doing whatever I had to do to supplement income, you know what I mean? Just to keep the train rolling. That's kind of where I am at on this forefront of all this thing. And without these guys behind me, man, this thing is nothing. It's just a crazy person and recording to a nothing. So
yeah, like
find yourself some good peoples. Keep them around. Don't let them go. If you have to, beg them to stay.
Yeah. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it in today with my tooth, man. Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel better now. My my Advil must have kicked in. It was just because if I would have taken Advil this morning when I woke up at 3:45 in the morning, I'd have been fine. But I didn't think it was gonna hurt. I did have to take a couple last night though, so I knew it might be coming. But yeah, that was like woke up this morning feeling fine, got the kids ready, and like 10 minutes before we leave the house, I was like, yeah, it kind of hurts a little. I'll pop some Advil. And by the time we were to the school, I was just like, even though on the way to the kids' school, I wasn't singing Big Dogs. Izzy's in the back singing along to Big Dogs, and I'm not because my tooth hurts too bad. And that's my jam. Speaking of which, I looked 4 days ago, 115,000 or 115 million views in 2 months for Big Dogs and Hunnam Hell yeah, dude. Shout out Hunnam. That is a sick song.
You gotta my shout out Curtis. I think he was one of the first people who found that song before it
dude.
I mean, you had found it
for when
there was only like a couple million views on it. Maybe 10 million.
No, it was already at like 50 million when I found it, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Because this was like 2 months ago. I mean,
it's a 2 month. It came out on
I bet if you pulled the
7th of last month. So it's been a month and a half now, or 2.5 months, and it's probably at 120 million views now. That's amazing, dude.
It's just absolutely insane. That drop, I think, in the very first. That like it's it's such a unique. It's like, oh snap, and then you have to drop that follows it. Shout out my girl yesterday. She sent me this song, and I don't know if you've ever heard it.
But yeah, he's it was cool. Hunnam even got to talk to Project Pat over a Instagram Live. So shout out to him. I'm so happy things are going good for him.
Ocean Eyes. The astronomy remix.
Why does that sound familiar?
But it's a Billie Eilish song, but it's man, it was another one. It's like that Amanda Sue song. Just got you listening over and over and over again.
Man,
sexy females who
love a good voice. Yeah, dude. Especially for me, since I was a big fan of EDM and doing the amount of drugs I did when I was an EDM fan, those sounds will always be forever stuck in my head. But a good vocal chop where they just like edit it a little bit, either cutting and chopping it or doing like a stretch on it, like the Justin Bieber song that goes dun 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 dun. That's Justin Bieber's vocals.
Oh wow!
And that Diplo and whoever else made that song with him, like stretched it, pitched it, and then chopped and edited it, and that's actually Justin Bieber's vocals, but they've stretched and pitched it all.
Damn, that's really
it's
incredible what you can do once you break down the noises onto like what is it when it's in
the equalizer, and then they drop the pitch, and then they add gain or distort or echo, and like, dude,
and then you see some of those boards, and then it starts to play, and then the things are just doing its own thing. It's just up and down. That's even the guys who learn that in itself. I mean, you spend so much time.
Imagine, dude, like you saw Bamski's studio, right? How much he's condensed his little mixer down into a smaller one. Imagine like Dr. Dre and Eminem, the videos of those guys doing it back in the day, where it was this whole room wide of those things, dude. The technology has compacted so much more in the last 10-15 years.
I mean, they used to have like literal DJ battles where you'd have a DJ over here, and they would just scratch against each other. We
talked about that last time or the other day too. The scratching is almost gone.
Yeah, I think it'll just probably get a smaller market, but I don't think it ever goes away.
Yeah, because I do. There's this one on Instagram of this young kid who does it with. He's got 4 of the nice turntables and a mixer, and he's mixing 4 songs together.
Does he just go to
and some of it he does scratch.
Does he like walk to each one?
No, he's standing there and it's got like his small main mixer set, and then he's got turntable, and he's able to kind of like reach them all, like kind of stand in one spot but lean to each side and hit them.
It would be interesting to see like.
So it's still out there, but like you said, the market's just getting smaller and smaller.
Because you have to be so multifaceted nowadays. If you're just one thing, it's not enough.
That kid, 90% chance he's the son of a famous DJ. It's probably Marshmallow's kid. You know what I mean? Like, where his dad's in there practicing all day and he's been watching.
Marshmallow got kids? No one.
I don't even know. I don't think Marshmallow has ever revealed his face.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
He finally did it?
Yeah.
Who are you?
He also, he has he's on Instagram, Marshmallow Cooking.
He cooks?
Yeah. And
dude,
the kid
again,
is nice with it.
Dude, yet again, once you become that persona, you put that marshmallow helmet on, you're doing anything, and guess what? People are watching. If my daughter saw that on YouTube, she would watch Marshmallow Cooking Channel 100%.
And it's actually legit. Like I said, he's not making whack meals. He's making like.
That's what I'm gonna do. If my daughter watches YouTube tonight, that's what we're gonna look up, because I have been asking her for a fucking year that if you're gonna watch YouTube, look up something fucking educational, and she always ends up on shorts, and I'm like, no. Especially if she's using my phone, it's like, that's my shorts.
A lot of times it gets like, you'll be on it and they'll be watching a video,
and then they'll just go to them.
Well, even if you don't, like, you'll look down and then it has a bunch of reels right here, so it's like, it's clickbaity. And if you're a kid, I mean, it's like, oh, what's that? What's that?
See, and that's the thing. That's what I keep telling her. I was like, especially if you're on my phone, on my adult account, you are going to see something that is not for your age on my feed. And if you're in shorts, there's a 80% chance you're going to see more of it, because there's so many that you can go through. So I'm like, please, not shorts. Like, you can watch YouTube, but let's try to find something educational.
Oh yeah, but you do the YouTube Kids and all?
No, because
it's so hammered down.
Yeah,
it really does, like preschool level.
It's like babies. Yeah, it should be YouTube babies. But no, it's like, and normally she'll watch good stuff where she's like,
hey, YouTube, this will help you and your people out. Go, have
YouTube toddlers or something.
Yeah, YouTube toddlers, YouTube kids,
preteens or something.
Well, because teens and adults. When you should get like 13 through then 18,
you're already hearing that shit at school, anyways. Yeah, but
let it ride. Unless you're gonna take the opportunity that you have and actually be an active parent in your child's life, and not just expect other
and that's what I
to
want.
raise your kids.
That's what I want her to use like YouTube for, is watch piano videos and kind of learn something like that. Watch someone. What I do, like, she was watching someone, I told you, redo a 1920s pencil sharpener, and she kept asking me, and this guy was like fabricating screws. So that one, I loved it. She's asking me stuff, and I'm like, he's fabricating a screw. She's like, what's that? I was like, he's making a screw from scratch. He's making his own. He's fabricating it. So I'm okay with stuff like that, where if you're learning something, you're gonna go to school and be like, yeah, I watched a video where a guy fabricated his own screws, and her teacher's gonna be like, what the fuck did you just say? Like that. Damn, that was up there.
There might be some teachers out there that probably don't even know what fabricating a screw entails.
I actually fucked up the other day at the park. The kids were burying their feet, and I was like, oh no, he's an amputee. The kids were like, what's an amputee? And I'm like, oh fuck. And it wasn't my kid. It was someone else's kid, right? Like, that's where I feel like, shit, I shouldn't be saying anything about this. But I was just like, someone who has had a doctor remove a limb, like,
it'd be very insensitive.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I said it though. I said it. Yeah.
It's
It's,
like
it's someone who had to go visit a doctor and get a a surgery
you're
where they had to
talking
lose
about like a
something.
guy with no arms and legs who goes fishing. They call him Bob.
You remember those guys? Yeah.
Oh, the best. So how's the tooth? You're saying it is.
I'm feeling all right now. Yeah.
Feeling all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm cool.
So he's good for another day,
Yeah.
everybody. I mean,
No, I'm
probably
gonna.
go ahead and,
I did already Google it. Some fucking walk-in spots, but it doesn't seem like there's any walk-in. There's some emergency spots though here in town. On
Yeah.
call and
I can't remember how the emergency deal works. I think they still take you.
And
I
then
just
the
think
same-
that there's
yeah.
a bigger bill to it because. the
yeah, I'm
emergency
gonna
is
call
in front
around when
of
I
it.
get home. I got so much laundry to fold. I did really good about washing it, but I gotta fold
I
it.
got two
I'm so
baskets to fold. I keep throwing it on my bed and then throwing it
In the basket at
throwing
night,
it on the
yeah.
bed, throwing it in the basket.
Yep, that's Izzy's bed. Should we go to get in bed last night? She's like, man, it feels like there's crumbs all over my bed. And I was like, it's probably because I keep dumping the laundry basket out on your bed every day when we need to get dressed in the morning. But then she's like, it's probably because I drag my blanket around the floor and there's crumbs on the floor. And I was like, that's actually more legit. That probably sounds like a more legit reason
That's
than
so
my basket.
funny how quickly you just bailed on you being your fault.
Right. Well, and
You know what? You are
You're
a
right.
messy kid.
It is your fault.
You should probably stop being so messy.
Well, here's my brother, Uncle Billy, bought him baby bottle pops, right? And then here's Logan
Which
trying to
yeah.
just drink his sugar
Yeah,
because
I
his
was-
baby bottle pop's not long enough to dip into it, spilling it everywhere. I was like, you want ants? That's how you get ants.
Facts.
Yeah.
And your brother, and you're just probably. I would be looking at him like, "What were you thinking? I thought I told you."
Another crazy ass fucking thing. I have a charging dock for my PlayStation controllers where you hook them in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to go move it the other day and the cord goes down to where it plugs into the wall, right? What's fucking wrapping around that cord? A fucking plant. Where did it come from? A fucking hole in the floor. This plant made it through the hole in the floor.
But it was it looped
It's like
around.
it's like a vine, yeah. So it's looping
Those are
around.
morning glories.
It's looping around my cord to try to get up to the
I
sunlight.
mean, those suckers. If you don't do anything, that will just keep coming
I
into your
know.
house, bro.
I
Those things are
want-
so invasive.
I want to go find where it's growing and pot it. Because if that fucker can live without me doing anything and it can find its little tiny hole through the floor and get to the sunlight, then maybe I can keep a plant alive. Because I have no green thumb. But if that thing can survive through everything it's been through.
Anybody, please, who's dealt with the plight of morning glories, please talk him out
Well,
of
dude,
this.
even if I just cut it at the floor, the hole in the
Bro.
floor, it's gonna come right back. I gotta go find its
yeah,
source and
but I'm telling you, you have like so many foot of roots to pull out. Those things are like one of the most invasive vines. They take it everywhere. Like drive around to a fence.
Yeah.
All those ones that are just wrapped up like those, all the way. Those are all morning glories, and they're almost as bad as.
So my brother's
clovers.
house in 50 years is going to be that, at least that part of it's going to be completely overgrown.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what's crazy? They said 7 years is all it took.
7
years. If there's no humans, 7 years, everything is overrun by plants.
Dang. So all those houses in Detroit are just done.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, without humans, that's what happens.
And then
Nature comes back with a vengeance.
in 50 years, all that, it's going to fall down. In another 100 years, it's going to decay.
Well, you got to think the bugs and everything start getting at
So-
termites.
so
you have everything.
all-
The only thing that really sticks around is the concrete.
I was just going to say that. The only thing a future civilization is going to find is all that concrete. Imagine New York, though. I mean, a lot of it will crumble and break away because that concrete will not last forever. It will erode. It will get cracks. Like,
It
especially the
really
skyscrapers,
depends.
the ones that are,
I
have
think if
weight
you're-
sitting on them. But
Over on the East Coast, and you have one giant tidal wave, end of tomorrow situation.
that knocks all those suckers down.
And then it's just a long amount of time before it's
But
washed out back to the ocean.
Imagine here, you would find a bunch of foundations,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what we're finding in the Mayan Amazon, if you think about it. Damn. But also, if something happens where, say, West Yellowstone explodes, how much of us is going to be covered up? And then this will be things they find when they're excavating and they'll
That
digging.
made so much more sense when it came to Grand Hogcock's explanation.
The younger
of the whole thing
Dryas.
is like, we don't ever take into consideration that we could have just been wiped out, and then there's one or two human beings that slowly built them back up. Because I always wondered, like, there seems like there's people who just know so much from, like, I would consider like the old world before technology, and you're like, how do you guys? But that it just keeps getting passed and passed and passed and passed and passed.
That's why I really wish I could talk to like a ancient Mayan, well, I guess chief. I don't know if they're chiefs or whatever down there, and just ask, what was that like? You know what I mean? Like, my book was theorizing that the Mayans are the true starters of civilization, and that the Mu became the Mayans, and that the Mu were all the way up into North America and Canada and shit. Pretty much, they called it Turtle Island because apparently the North and South America looks, or maybe it was North America looked like a turtle. But yeah, and then South America was Atlantis. So the Mayans were the home of Atlantis. And they're theorizing this all would have been before the Younger Dryas impact, I think. So I was like, okay, that would make sense because there's a bunch of shit happened.
Well, the fact that how much wreckage you find in the ocean, and then you go and then you're like, oh wow, there's like straight up looking like Greece and Colosseums underneath the water off the shoreline right here. So how much fell into the water already, and it's just been...
Well, and that's another thing that's nuts. How come only a handful of buildings around the United States are that Greek architecture, and most of them say they were built in a year when people were working with horse and buggy? How does that make any sense?
I've always wondered about the East Coast in that regard, because the East Coast specifically is very, I would say, like old
world, old worldy, like especially DC, obviously the White House.
But you get out to here where you can definitely tell some people with some horse and carriages
built all this stuff. Yeah, 100%. To where those grand buildings, like even the one, have you seen the church in Utah? Salt Lake City, Utah? I've seen it in person, dude.
Are you talking about
the big Mormon? I think it's a big Mormon
Jehovah
castle.
Witnesses.
Was it the Jehovah Witness? Maybe it is.
Church of the Latter-day Saints.
I think that sounds
there
right.
There you go.
That thing is nuts.
So that is,
and they built that in a year with horse and buggy. I think that was another one that they said was built in a year. Bull fucking shit.
Hey, John Smith and his tablets. Watch out.
Maybe.
He clapped them tablets together and building.
Bam, boom. Bam, boom.
Bamskis.
Boom, bamskis. Every time you say boom, you gotta say bamskis on. Boom, bamskis.
I can't. Man. We gotta cut this thing short before my co-host's face does end up coming back and hurting him.
Yeah, and like I said, I got a bunch of shit to do. I got laundry to do.
We got a couple more this week.
Yep. Do some editing. Yeah. So tomorrow we going out to PC?
Not
Park
until
City?
Thursday.
Okay. One more day of I'm okay with relaxing and doing this. I know it's like it's a double-edged sword. I hate it because I know we're not making any money, but I'm like,
this is what I'm like more passionate about it. But like anything, you don't get to choose what pays bills. You just have to suck it up and do it. And
we do this for a year, then maybe. I did pray last night actually when I was going to bed. Yeah, that we'd start making some money here on YouTube. Just a simple request, just to get monetized eventually, you know. So, and then I woke up this morning, had a toothache. Like, this is not what I asked for. That's legitimately as I dropped the kids off, was coming over here.
Crowd find you, be like, geez Louise, let's at least get this guy enough money to get his tooth out of his face.
This is not what I asked for when I said I wanted some shit going on last night. You son of a bitch. All right, guys. Much love. We will see you very soon.
And until then,
bye.